Hey y'all, Toad here. Multi-tools. You know, I really believe no one should be without a multi-tool. Regardless of who and what you do, who you are, what you do. I think everybody needs to have pretty easy access all the time to multi-tools. And these are some of the ones that I have. And anybody who's been watching my channel for any length of time knows I am a huge fan of the Juice S2. This one is an everyday carry for me. I go nowheres without it. As far as more specialty tools, I've got two. The Gerber, which the name escapes me just. I think it's the Effect is what they call it. And this is the AR-15 related Gerber that actually I gave it a pretty good review. With a few minor things, I'll throw that review down in the bottom, obviously. Except for a few minor details, it actually beat this monster in a few important areas for me. Now, that's not to say that the Leatherman Mutt is not an amazingly cool and versatile multi-tool, because it is. This thing is cool. There's a couple little things about it I didn't like, but, for the most part, especially now that the price has come down, I'm starting to see these things closer to the $100 mark, which this one was actually much closer to the $150 mark when I bought it. So, I might take another look at this at some later date, and of course, I got all the tools that go with that. But the multi-tool that I want to show you here is kind of a newer concept as far as I can tell from Leatherman. They seem to have gone out and decided to make a budget, or entry level, I guess would be a better way to put it, pair of multi-tools, and they have the Wingman and the Sidekick, and this is the Wingman. And I've had this now for about, I'd say about 3 months, and carried it a lot. In fact, I even left my beloved Juice 2 at home and carried this one in the camelback, and occasionally carried it when I was wearing long pants. Carried it in a pocket just to check out the clip. So let's just run through and show you what it's got. Alright? Spring-loaded pliers. That's huge if you're working one-handed. Especially something of the the beef of the Mutt, or the even the diminutive size. Having to pull it back doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you're working, it is. So having the spring-loaded pliers are kind of cool. Now on one side, bottle opener, file, a little bit of a prying tool there too, I guess, and a line cutter, which actually works pretty cool. You can see it's a chisel ground. And while they don't lock, when they go into place, they stay there. So that's a decent set of tools. In the other handle, regular and Phillips screwdriver. Now, I was a little skeptical of the flattish Phillips screwdriver, but I was pleasantly surprised. While it doesn't fit a whole lot of different sizes, I mean, it is what it is. It's real close to a number 2. If it fits, it works just fine. So, no complaints. Now we get to one of my favorite things about the Wingman. Scissors. I am a huge fan of having scissors. In fact, probably use this more than anything else on here except for the pliers. And I don't know if you noticed, but listen carefully and watch. Yeah, they lock. That is very, very cool. Now, does it make a huge, big difference on a pair of scissors? It does when you're hanging onto that thing with one hand and trying to get the other one going, and not having it wobble around is cool. So I like that. Now, of course, its blade also locks into place. And it's a positive lock. Tight, tight. Works real, real well. Serrated blade, hey, I'm not a big fan of serrated. I haven't actually used this blade a whole lot because I know this actual one is going to end up under somebody's Christmas tree. So I didn't use the blade a whole lot, but based on its steel, based on other Leatherman products that I use, I'm sure the edge, I know the edge is fine, and I'm sure the steel will last up to their standards. So, oh, one more thing. The pocket clip. That's a good pocket clip. I was very surprised. When I had this, I was wearing a pair of tack lights, and because I had a knife in the actual knife pocket, I had this in just a regular front pocket. And jumping around, bouncing around, and cruising through the woods and just over hill, over dale, this thing never snagged and popped out. It sits pretty deep in the pocket. So they did a good job. Really good job on that. And while I didn't try because I don't trust myself, it looks like you can actually take this thing apart. I can't tell if it's going on in the camera. Sorry, not the greatest camera in the world. It's hard to see what I'm actually doing. So overall, is it up to Leatherman standards? Yeah. Yeah, that can't be denied. You do have a place to put lanyard. But the thing that really gets you is after all of this, I mean, if I was going to have to pick something on this to squawk about, it'd be like, okay, I'd like to have the replaceable blades, kind of like the Mutt has. I don't know if you can see it. The Mutt being black, it's hard sometimes to see that stuff. But it does have replaceable blades. But, you know, $100. And that brings me to the greatest part about this. Sub $30. I've even seen this one for sale for as little as $25. That's an amazing price point for this tool, I think. I think if anybody has always wanted a Leatherman and just really balked at the price, you know, sometimes I think some of the other ones start out in the 70s, you know, the Charge and some of the others, which is really actually the reason I don't have one. I don't have one that sits between the Mutt and the S2 in size, except for this Wingman, because dropping $80 for one that runs in between both of those just it doesn't work for me. So will I, after this one goes under the tree, will I replace this one for myself? Yeah, I feel pretty confident I'm going to grab another one of these. So, the Leatherman Wingman. And I'm sure its partner, the Sidekick, which is almost exactly the same, just has some different tools, which you can look it up on Leatherman's site. And I know the price points are similar. So, Leatherman Wingman, I like. And if you're looking for a Leatherman tool at an affordable price, this is probably the one you want to take a peek at. All right, y'all. Thanks a lot for watching. Fair winds, and we'll see you next time around.